My mom is a very strong presence in my life and my family's life. You never wanted to upset Julie or disappoint Julie. Not that she would get like angry or anything. It was just one of those things where she would use the "I'm just disappointed" card. It was one of those things where I'm like, I want to make my mom proud with this. And yeah.
Okay, that just touched my heart. What's going on, friends? We're back with the Off the Clock podcast, episode 9. We are doing a lot of episodes. This is exciting. We're here with a special guest. You might not know her. She's one of the newest employees to the organization, Sarah Fitch. Official title, I'm declaring this today on this podcast, the Marketing Wizard, because you do so much, and all of our leads that come in, the Google leads, the text messages and everything that brings calls on the boards, she is responsible for. So when we have our field staff going out, just know Sarah's working in the background. How are you?
I'm good. Yeah. Thanks for having me.
You excited?
I'm excited to be here. Yes. This is my, I think, first official podcast. Yeah.
Podcast debut.
Pumped. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I have a fun icebreaker, and I know we kind of talk a little bit about this in the office, but we're both into some conspiracy theories. So let's get our Joe Rogan on. What is one of your favorite conspiracy theories that you've heard recently?
Okay, so it's very low stakes, which those are the ones that I really gravitate towards because it's like, whatever. My favorite is the movie Frozen. So Disney's Frozen is a cover-up for people Googling Walt Disney Frozen head. And they're just like, we're going to make the movie Frozen. So that's like pushed in front. So and anytime someone does Walt Disney Frozen, immediately the movie comes up, no longer the head. And I think that's just really, really funny and smart, where they're like, we're going to put this to rest without actually telling you anything. We're just going to make a movie called Frozen. So that's my favorite low stakes conspiracy theory. I live by that one, for sure.
I've never heard that before. I also love that your conspiracy theory is still related to SEO and marketing in some way. It's like you're like a long tail keyword.
Marketing genius.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. If you've heard that conspiracy theory before, leave a comment, and also leave in the comments your favorite conspiracy theory. Let's get the thread blown up with this. So Sarah, you're one of our digital marketer gurus on the marketing team. Can you share a little bit about your journey on how you started in the marketing world, and also how did you end up at 5 Star Home Services?
Yeah, absolutely. So I started in the marketing world right after college. I went to OSU for strategic communication. So it was marketing focused, but really heavy in PR.
Sure.
So that's what I really started out with. Got an internship at a digital marketing agency called Futurity in Columbus. Worked with them for about 3 years. Worked from intern up to the marketing manager. So just touched every aspect of marketing and PR over there. Decided that maybe I wanted a little bit of a career change and started in a sales position. Realized sales is not for me. And that's okay. And that's fine. It was something that it's not really that it wasn't for me. It was just not what I was passionate about. And it was, I would find myself for those like 6 months just wanting to execute the marketing strategies that I was building for clients. Where I'm like, I wish I could be doing this. I want to write these blogs. I want to write these meta descriptions, but I can't because that's not my job. So that was sort of the... You
closed the deal, managed the account, and just keep it going.
Yeah, I would kick it off to someone else. And that was, once I really realized that, I knew it going into it, but once I really was living it, I'm like, yeah, this just isn't for me. So it was funny. 5 Star was actually one of the clients I was going after, if you might remember.
Sarah was trying to poach, I believe, Christian and I on LinkedIn. because I was like, we both recognized your name, and I was like, why do I know her? Like, I mean, I know a lot of people in Columbus, and then I put two together. I was like, oh yeah.
I was looking in like vetting you guys, and I'm like, man, this is like a really cool company. And then I saw that you guys were hiring a digital marketer. I'm like, this is just, it's written in the stars at that point.
So we ended up poaching her then. Yeah, we flipped the script. Reverse. Yeah, I like that.
But yeah, that's sort of how I ended up here, and I'm really happy where I'm at. I'm excited to take on marketing again and sort of be doing what ultimately what I was meant to do.
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah, and you're such a blessing to the team, and
Thank you.
You know, you filled the void in the spot that our team needed. You know, it's amazing. We talked about this in another episode, of just how like the right players have just come together in the most perfect way at 5-star.
That's great.
So I know I make fun of the name Delphus sometimes of how interesting of a name that is, and that is the city you're from, Delphus.
Delphus, Ohio.
Delphus, Ohio. I don't know. Are you familiar with Delphus, Ohio? But your family is still there.
Yes. Yeah.
Looking back just in your family and your life in general, who has been a hero or a significant role model in your life that has truly kind of influenced you as a person, personally, and your career?
I would say my mom is definitely. I think I've always seen her as just a very strong presence in my life and my family's life. It was always like, growing up, you never wanted to upset Julie or disappoint Julie. Not that she would get like angry or anything. It was just one of those things where she would use the I'm just disappointed card, and it cut deep. It hurt. And it was one of those things where I'm like, I will never disappoint you again. And so maybe it's a little unhealthy, but it's fine.
She didn't even get angry. She's just like, I'm just disappointed, and walks away.
Yeah, she's like, I'm just disappointed, you know? I'm like, oh, okay. Well, but yeah, she's a very hard worker. She has an incredible work ethic. She manages multiple doctor's offices in Lima, Ohio, not too far from Delphus. But yeah, and one of her big things is she runs a Suboxone clinic, helping people with opioid addiction and helping them in recovery, promoting recovery for them and encouraging them. And she's met a lot of really great people in that, and she's helped them as much as possible outside of the office. And it was just one of those things when coming into here and all of those things aligning, where we promote recovery and we have those programs where we can really help people, give them another chance at life. And it was just, it was one of those things where I'm like, I want to make my mom proud with this. And
Okay, that just touched my heart. That synergy and connection between 5-star and then your mom's heart and passion for serving as well is really beautiful. And, you know, we all need a Julie in our life.
We all need a Julie. Really? That's a great...
We all need a Julie.
We all need a Julie.
I've only known about your mom for like 35 seconds, but I can tell, you know, her purpose is to be an advocate for people.
Yes.
And to really bring out the best in them, and especially, you know, her doing what she does at the Suboxone clinics and whatnot. Like, people that are in a recovery need an advocate to help them as they, you know, get better and heal. So
it was just, she always said that she wants to be the person in everyone's corner, where she's like, if it means anything to anyone, she's rooting for you. And that's just, I appreciate that a lot.
Oh, we appreciate you, Julie. So, Sarah, one of the questions we like to kind of get into on the podcast, I'm going to leave that in there, podcast is hardships.
Yeah.
Looking back in your life, was there any time where you, and you don't have to get too personal into it, but any hardship that you have faced that truly kind of tested your willpower and strength and that you had to overcome?
Yeah, I think, I mean, it happened very recently with the whole career change. It was sort of like as I was in my previous job at the agency, I was doing well and I was really happy there, but I just felt like there was something like almost maybe an imposter syndrome of like, I think I might need to be doing something else. And so getting into sales and then just realizing that it wasn't for me, I had to sort of face, did I fail sort of thing, where I was like, am I a failure? Like, could I just not do this? And that's not something that I've really had to deal with in that sense of like my career. My job was this thing that I could always rely on. Whereas like when relationships didn't work out, I still had my job. And it was like that, those things flipped at that point where I could count on other things, but not my job. And that was something that I just hated. I hated
terrifying,
dealing with it.
Right?
It is terrifying.
Yeah.
So like, what am I going to do? And so it was one of those things where I'm like, I just need to focus on me and getting back to what I need to be doing. So it was, there's a show called Bluey. I don't know if you're familiar.
Do we have any Bluey fans in the audience?
I don't have any children, but I love Bluey. But Bluey, there's a part where they're like, pick yourself off, dust yourself, or like pick yourself up, dust yourself off, the show must go on. And that's sort of like, that was the mentality. That was the Bluey mentality of, I just have to move forward. I have to just, nothing's going to happen if I don't do something about it.
Yeah, I can tell your passion for marketing. I mean, that's unquestionable. And I know they say, don't let your career or your job define who you are. But when you're passionate about your career, why would you not want that to be part of your identity? And that's kind of, I resonate with that because I'm somebody who's always kind of let my career kind of guide who I am too. Yeah. And like you said, if things were unstable in my life at the time, at least I loved what I do.
Yeah, right.
And so I get, having that uncertainty, like, this is the first time in my life I don't love what I do and I need to make a change.
Yeah.
And
exactly.
So, and now here you are.
Here I am.
Yeah, learning every day and growing your skill sets and adding value to a company that's giving back as well.
Yeah,
so.
Absolutely.
So very ambitious, Sarah. We have definitely established that. What are some of your hopes or dreams for your career and then also your personal life too?
I think a big dream of mine, and this kind of goes personally and professionally, I would love to, at least once in my life, teach a college class. I would love for it to be at OSU. I would love, just because
the full circle moment.
I've been a Buckeye my entire life, and it was sort of my dream and my dad's dream to have at least one Buckeye in the family. So it was an easy decision to make, but I would love for it to come full circle and teach at least one college class. And it seems to be more like attainable nowadays, where it's a lot of my professors in college were full-time employees of somewhere else, and they're like, I teach this like once a week. So,
yeah. Would it be marketing focus and communications, or would you kind of go into another?
I don't know.
Study.
I think it would be marketing focused, but like something new and interesting that I've sort of picked up. I think one thing that I didn't take advantage of as much in college, I don't know if, I'm sure these courses exist, but really like looking at the data and being able to interpret data to drive the marketing, because I mean, data-driven marketing is what you need to follow, really. It's
Absolutely.
like you need to look at the data, don't just go on a hunch because the data's there and it'll tell you. So really hitting home on that in a college course would be, I think, beneficial to other people, as well as just a channel for me to get my passion out there. Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, for what we do, the whole concept of, measure twice, cut once is so important when it comes to marketing.
Absolutely.
And that's why we, do what we do as far as mini experiments, right? And we throw a little bit of ad dollars into something to see that it works, then look at the data and see how we can iterate. And then once we, hit whatever type of hypothesis or goal that we're trying to accomplish, then you can start growing and scaling it. So, I mean, what we do is very analytically driven.
Absolutely.
Because I don't know about you guys, I don't want to waste money.
No.
I hate wasting money. I want to make money.
Waste money, waste time. Yeah. So when the answer's right there and you're not paying attention to it, then you're doing yourself a disservice.
Absolutely. Yeah. So looking at, we're launching this whole entire new brand guide with new core values for the company going into 2025 and beyond. We have a beautiful brand new website that I will say probably by the time this episode drops, should be live.
Nice.
So that's exciting.
Go check
So
it out.
future selves, we have a new website, which is awesome. But looking at some of our core values, one of them that really stands out to me is generosity. So could you give an example of maybe a time in your life you've displayed generosity, and then also just a word of advice or inspiration to the team and everybody watching of how you can live your life more generously?
Yeah, I think, one of my big sort of life goals is to lead with generosity, whether that's with your time, with your money, with your ideas is a big one. And I think that's one that maybe sometimes landed me in, I guess, without the revenue during my sales time, where it's like, oh, I'll just give you this strategy for free. And it's like, here's an idea to do. You don't need us for it. Whoops.
Customers love that.
Yikes. But yeah, that's just, I guess I just am a very helpful person and I want to help people. That's like one of like acts of service. I like to do things for people as much as possible. I want to make you more comfortable before I make myself comfortable. So that's just sort of what generosity means to me. And I think that's, just being generous with your time, your money, your ideas to help other people. Something that's big for me.
Absolutely. That's awesome. So we're going to end this podcast on just a fun, random bonus question.
Okay.
What is a hidden interest or just like fact about yourself you'd like to share with the group? And I hope I'm not taking yours by saying this, but I just want to point out that during Sarah's initial interview, what really stood out to me is that she mentioned she was a video game speed runner.
That's what I was about to say too.
So I kind of just stole the glory here.
No, it's okay.
But that's just what. But tell us more about this speed running.
It's Fallout New Vegas is one of my favorite video games, and that's one that I've been able to beat the main storyline, and I think like under 55 minutes. It might be 50. It's not as like insane as some of these other people that do it, like no glitches, no mods or anything like that.
Yeah.
They do it. It's crazy, but I am proud of myself of getting it under 55 minutes because I just played it so much to where I'm like I'll find like easier ways to do it, and a lot of my friends hype me up for it, and it's great.
That's
it's just a weird little thing that I enjoy doing.
Very cool though. Do you ever do any type of streams or anything? Like, you kind of?
I don't.
People love to watch this stuff.
And that's what I've been told. They're like, you'll have people watching it. Like, it's fun, it's entertaining. But I'm like, I don't know. It's just for me.
That's cool.
We have fun with it.
What's the next game you want to speed run? Like, what's the next game you want to play obsessively till you know every single thing about?
Well, I don't know if you saw this, but Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion Remastered just came out yesterday.
Yeah.
Yep. So that game originally came out in like 2006 or something like that. And it was one that I played Elder Scrolls 5 Skyrim, played that a lot, and
is that Bethesda?
Bethesda, yeah.
Bethesda,
yeah. It's
I know Bethesda video games.
Yeah, so they just came out. They just dropped it, like shadow dropped it yesterday. So I think that might be the one that I get very into obsessively. I couldn't go from like Skyrim graphics to Oblivion graphics. That was tough. So it's like having a remastered version of it. I'll be able to actually play it and enjoy it, and actually be able to make out the shapes on the screen.
Very cool. My favorite speedruns are watching the no kills in the original Contra for NES.
Oh yeah.
Because if you've ever played Contra, and I know some of the people watching, grew up in like more the 90s and stuff. So you guys played the original Contra for NES, but it's such a hard game.
Really?
So the fact that somebody can no kill speedrun that, their brains are just different.
Mm-hmm. It's just wired differently, but it's fun.
It's fun, and that's what life's about. So, Sarah, thank you so much for joining us. And guys, thanks for watching Off the Clock podcast. We always appreciate it. And if you're interested in being a guest and sitting on the hot seat and me asking the tough questions, message me. I'm on the marketing team. You can always find me. Thank you so much. Until next time.